All right, the first of the series of limited time series featuring the legacy Bugattis here. We're starting off with the Bugatti Chiron Sport. So this series obviously is currently open. It will remain open until May 16th, so for about a week. And well, let's see. For completing the 15 tiers, 45 events, you of course get to win the car if you don't already own it. And plus 60 gold and 300,000 racing dollars, which if you don't own it, the chances are you'll most likely be spending that to upgrade this car to meet the PR requirement, which is 93.6 according to what they have published on their site. So let's check in and find out. And look at there. I am currently, yes, putting some upgrades on this week's or this past week's ongoing upgrade discount on this Mercedes AMG GT3. So here we go, finally. Bugatti Chiron Sport Championship. Earn a 2018 Bugatti Chiron Sport by 100% completing this special limited time series. Supremely fast and exceedingly luxurious, Chiron Sport is a groundbreaking interpretation of technical sports car design. This car actually was featured as let's see, we had a special event for this car, the classic special event called Speed Rush. I believe it was like we had like several seasons of that. I believe this was the season 4, which I believe was the last season of Speed Rush event that we've had. So what that means is the event itself did not have a set PR requirement. So if you're a better racer or more clever racer, you would have been able to pick up this car with a very low number of upgrades, right? So when the event actually, I have a playlist of myself running through, so I'll have the link to that playthrough videos in the description box below. So if you're interested, check that out. The event itself, I believe, is also featured currently. It's included in part of the events archive. So, and you can skip events archives, like cycle through basically the events for free right now, because they're, gonna be removing that part of the game at the end of like July or something like that. So that's another way to win this car, and certainly would be cheaper to win it from that's going through the events archive. Although you still have to spend pretty decent amount of gold if you, I guess, want to win the car and make some, progress through the bonus series the car's featured in. Currently, this car's featured in 3 different series. The Chiron Showcase is the first one that was introduced with the car, introduction of the car, right, back in the day. So once you win it, you are able to race in that one series. That featured the Chiron Sport and the non-sport version of the Chiron, right? By the way, out of all the Bugattis, this is the obviously super fast. When it bears the name Bugatti, you know it's going to be fast. But this one actually handles really well. It's not nearly as slippery as, let's say, Veyrons, because Veyrons just, while they're super fast, they just kind of skid all over the road unless you're really being careful, right? This guy, on the other hand, is quite controllable car. So I think it's one of the more fun cars in the game. That's my opinion. So if you can snatch one and add it to your garage, I don't think you'll regret it. So anyway, so if you legitimately don't, in my playthrough video, there's kind of a goofy way I won that car. I think it's the cheapest way possibly to win the car the way I did it, which was actually skipping some of the goals that was impossible with the racing dollar upgrades only. But yeah, but that only applied, that made more sense because there was actually a decent amount of rewards for completing that event. But event archive events, I don't think there's any gold rewards if I remember correctly. So, and once again, if you want to make progress in the series the cars featured in, then you are gonna need some upgrades anyway. So if you want to spare some gold, then just run through the Speed Rush event featuring this car in Events Archive. Just get 3 upgrades across the board, and then you should be able to win that event, win this car through that event, and that'll cost you some 550 gold. 3 upgrades across the board, 21 out of 28 available upgrades, right? So that is, and then you can go, I believe that brings your PR up to 91.1, and then no, you're not going to be able to complete this limited time series with that PR, but you will be able to collect decent amount, or go through decent amount of the series to most likely complete 75%. That's my assumption here. We'll check into the series itself soon enough and confirm. But yeah, so there's some gold to be recouped there. And then, of course, Chiron Showcase bonus series, you'll be able to complete 75% completion there. So there's some, like, I want to say 47 gold to be won there. And then this car is now featured in the new bonus series, Full Throttle Free for All. That was introduced us along with the new Venom F5 in last upgrade, last version, right? So that one, with this car, you should be able to get, I'd assume, like at least 25%, if not 50% completion. So that means another 25 gold or so to be won. So you can recoup, you spend 550, then you get about, like, what, 70 back in return. So that's something. Now I tell you guys about this. That doesn't sound like a terribly great deal, but the gold cost these days, I think it's about as good as you're gonna get. So anyway, for this event, but if you wanna run through this limited time series, which is significantly easier, then you will have to spend a few more gold. By few more, I mean like more than double. It'll cost you 1,255 gold. From what I understand, the funny thing in my case, as you can see, the car is the reward here, as you can see. But the funny thing, let me check in here. Yeah, it says all that usual stuff. Mine's actually fully upgraded because they've offered us upgrade discount for this car in the past. So and the car was featured in like weekly time trial or something like that, right? So I could afford it, so I went ahead and fully upgraded. And I figured when the time comes, I will run through the series this car's featured in and easily win this car again, right? Or win it, right? So maxed PR 94.6 is what you can expect. And to fully max out this car, normally it'll cost you 1,630 gold and some 3.8 million racing dollars. But I got the 30% discount. I think that was the discount offer that was offered. So, you know, you discount 30% of it. So I spent somewhere around what? I would assume somewhere around like 1100, something like that, right? I'm just doing the math in my head, which actually ended up being cheaper than what the actual cost is going to be if you were to just, you know, afford all the upgrades to complete this limited time series this time around. So what am I trying to say? Save your gold. Save your gold. Save your gold. Yes. And when upgrade discount is offered, always take advantage of it. There you go. That's the moral of this story here. Because then, when the time comes, you get to pick up the car and get to pick up some extra gold. And since this car's fully upgraded, I can access exclusive series where there's extra 100 gold. So I will be recouping 100 gold there. I'll be recouping 60 gold from this limited time series. And I should be able to 100% complete Chiron Showcase event, the bonus series, which means there's another 80 gold. So that is good 240 gold that I can pick up, and not to mention full throttle free for all, where I should be able to, with 100% upgraded, I should be able to get 75% completion there, which means I should be able to pick up another like some 40 gold there. So that's not bad, you know. So that's why you should always save your gold. There you go. But anyway, for this video, let me use gold and complete it right away. All right, so get the car delivered here. Thank you very much. Unlocks the bonus series Chiron Showcase and full throttle free for all. And oh, look at that, they are giving us 1 full day instant service, and I'd assume instant R&D on racing dollar upgrades on this car as well. So pretty cool. So let's confirm the PR requirement for this event. 93.6. That is accurate. So I do believe you reached that PR by maxing out engine and getting 3 of 4 upgrades available on drivetrain, because the last drivetrain upgrade is gonna cost you 205 gold, so you don't need that one. But you know, first 3 you're gonna need. Body, you're gonna have to max out. Suspension, also you need to max out. And then exhaust, once again you need to max out. And brakes as well. But the tires and wheels, once again, it's kind of like the drivetrain. You don't need to get the last upgrade, the 4th upgrade, which is 170 gold. So basically you need to get 26 out of 28 upgrades available. So just skip last drivetrain and last tires and wheels upgrade. So you are some 375 gold away from fully upgrading this car. So that would be the way to meet this PR requirement. So now, as usual, let's run through the series itself and see what we're up for here. So tier 1, we got speed record at Suzuka East, so that's a short left for this guy. Followed by autocross at the Brickyard Road Course. And the tier 1 cup is going to be a Daytona Road Course single lapper. Tier 1, there is no PR requirement, of course. And moving on to tier 2, we got speed snap at the 24-hour circuit. So, you know, that's all about how you enter the Mulsanne Straight. Since the finish line is kind of like halfway down the first Mulsanne Straight for speed snap there. Head to head at the Red Bull Ring Grand Prix single lapper. And the cup for tier 2 is going to be at Circuit of the Americas National Circuit single lapper. PR 83 is required. So you need some of those tier 1 racing dollar upgrades. By the way, with the racing dollars alone, basically tier 1 upgrades are all you can get. That will bring your PR up to 84.1. Anyway, tier 3, we got Hunter at Catalonia Grand Prix, so that's a full lap. Endurance at Hockenheim National, so that distance will depend on how much of a winning margin that you have up to this point. And then cup for tier 3 is going to be at Bathurst Mount Panorama single lapper. PR 84.2 is required, which means we already know you need gold to get past tier 3. Ouch. At least they're letting us know early on. No free gold for you. Alright, moving on, tier 4. This is, of course, your 25% completion tier. Which is worth 6 gold and 30,000 racing dollars, right? We got speed snap at Dubai Autodrome Club Circuit, autocross at Red Bull Ring National Circuit, and the cup is at Silverstone International 2 laps. PR 85.1 is what's required for that. All right. Continuing on, tier 5, we got head-to-head at Circuit of the Americas National Circuit. Another endurance, this one at Bugatti Circuit. And the cup at Spa, single lapper, PR 86 required. On to tier 6, we got speed snap at Melbourne, a drag race. It's going to be a Monza. And the cup at Suzuka Grand Prix, 2 laps. PR 86.8 is required. On to tier 7, we got elimination at Catalonia Club, autocross at 24-hour circuit, and the cup at Hockenheim Short. 4 laps, PR 87.5 is required. So that's what is going to be what you're going to need to complete 50% completion, since you don't necessarily have to do the cup in tier 8 to claim the 50% completion reward, which is 12 gold and 60,000 racing dollars. But you will need to win 2 gold here, which means you can do speed snap at Berlin and a drag race at the Brickyard. Right. Anyway, if you'd like to continue on, tier 8 cup is going to be at Dubai Grand Prix, which does require PR 88.3. Take 2 laps. All right, now Act 2 of the limited time series. Tier 9, we got speed record at Circuit of the Americas Club Circuit. So that's a pretty short lap. Head to head at Silverstone International. Another quick lap there. And the cup is going to be at Monza Road Course. 2 laps, PR 89 is required. All right. Tier 10, we got elimination at Nürburgring Sprint Circuit, Autocross at Mount Panorama, and the cup at Laguna Seca, which requires PR 89.7 for these 4-lap cups. And Tier 11, I'm curious to find out what the PR requirement for cup is here. I'll tell you in a second. Okay, endurance at Catalonia Grand Prix. So your target distance will determine by your record up till this point. And we got head-to-head at Dubai International, probably a single lapper. Yep. And the cup for Tier 11 at the Brickyard requires PR 90.4. Why is that important? For not just for this purpose. Anyway, it's going to be a 4-lapper, right? So that is important because what was the number? 90.4, right? So that is lower than the PR required to win this car through the Speed Rush special event, right? Which is in the events archive. So PR 91.1 is, I think, what you would need to have in order to get through and win that event, car through that event. And if you don't, then I suppose you can always come back here, put more upgrades on, and try to win it here. So you are given more or less like 2 opportunities to win it. Anyway, here you only need a single gold trophy to claim 75% completion reward, which is additional 18 gold, which means that is 36 gold total by doing 75% completion. So something to keep in mind, right? Depending on how far you want to go, right? Anyway, so we got Hunter here. You can do autocross at Porsche Test Track Dynamic Circuit, or, well, yeah, unless you plan on going on further, I wouldn't bother with the cup. Exactly, PR 91.1, 7 laps at Red Bull Ring National Circuit to get through Tier 12. So if you have, I guess, 3 upgrades across the board, you'll be able to get past Tier 12 onto Tier 13, which we're looking at here. We got Speed Snap at Daytona Motorcycle Course, Endurance at Laguna Seca, and the Cup at the 24-hour circuit. PR 91.9 is required, and it's going to be a 2 laps. And on to Tier 14, we got elimination at Mount Panorama, speed record at Berlin, and the Cup at Circuit of the Americas Grand Prix. 4 laps, PR 92.7 is required. All right. So, so far so good, right? That takes us to the final tier. We got Hunter at Monza Junior course, so pretty quick lap there. We got a speed snap at Suzuka West, and then final cup at Nürburgring Grand Prix. 4 laps, PR 93.6 is required. Now, the bonus series Chiron Showcase requires PR 93.5 to complete. So, if you already own Bugatti Chiron, the blue one, not the sport version, and then you win this car through this limited time series with this PR, then obviously you should be able to 100% complete the Chiron Showcase and pick up the full 80 gold. Otherwise, you'll be stuck. Because, you know, with the bonus series featuring 2 cars, if you don't own both cars, well, you cannot 100% complete because the time trial exclusive to each car, right? And the showcase tiers. So, yeah, so something to keep in mind. Anyway, well, that'll do it for this limited time series overview. And yeah, I'll probably just make my way through this limited time series to actually bring this car into my garage on this 3rd account that I'm managing here. So we'll catch you guys in the next video. But for now, ciao.